Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Metzia, page 55. A, top of the page, with words Be'emsa, Hektish, let's say. But it is not subject to an intermediate stage of consecration resulting from redemption. Ravina said to him, it is due to the fact that it is not subject to ultimate consecration. A non-kosher animal does not ultimately remain consecrated, as it is used neither as an offering nor in the upkeep of the temple. Instead, it is redeemed, and its value is consecrated. Rav Achla of Difti said to Ravina, it is subject at least to an intermediate stage of consecration, and in that case, let one add 1/5 as well. Ravina said to him, its legal status is like that of ultimate consecration, just as one does not add 1/5 with regard to a non-kosher animal in ultimate consecration, as that category does not exist in a non-kosher animal, so too one does not add 1/5 in the case of intermediate consecration. Rav Zutra, son of Rav Mari, said to Ravina, what did you see that led you to liken the intermediate stage of consecration to ultimate consecration? Let us liken it to initial consecration. Ravina said to him, it stands to reason that he should liken it to ultimate consecration, as he thereby derives the halakha of an item consecrated by association with the sanctity of an item consecrated by association. The Gemara asks, on the contrary, he should have likened it to initial consecration, as he thereby derives the halakha of an item after which there is another stage of sanctity, the intermediate stage of consecration from an item after which there is another stage of sanctity. The Gemara answers, it is, as Bava says, the burnt offering, Leviticus 6:2, employing the definite article indicates that the reference is to the first burnt offering. So too, when it is written the non-kosher animal, the reference is to the initial consecration of the non-kosher animal, not the intermediate stage of consecration. The Gemara comments, it is taught in a Braita in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi. If one said that this cow is in place of that cow, which belongs to the temple treasury, or this garment is in place of that garment, which belongs to the temple treasury, his consecrated property is redeemed, and the treasure of consecrated property is at an advantage. If the replacement item is equal to or more valuable than the original item, it belongs to the treasurer, and if it is less valuable, the one who consecrated it must pay the difference. If he said this cow valued at 5 selah is in place of that cow, which belongs to the temple treasury, or this garment valued at 5 selah is instead of this garment, which belongs to the temple treasury, his consecrated property is redeemed. Even if the second consecrated item is more valuable, it is not considered a consecration done in error. He will have to pay the difference. He adds 1/5 when redeeming the item that was the initial consecration, but when redeeming the item for which the initial consecration was redeemed, the second consecration, he does not add 1/5. Let's see how much time we have here. Okay. New Mishnah. The Mishnah says, Ha'ona'a arba kesef ta'ana shtei kesef. The measure of exploitation is 4 silver ma'ah from the 24 silver ma'ah of a selah, and the smallest monetary claim in court for which a plaintiff can obligate a respondent to take an oath is 2 silver ma'ah, and the smallest monetary admission for which that respondent takes the oath is an admission that one owes at least the value of 1 pruta. On a related note, the Tana adds that there are 5 halachic situations involving prutot. The admission to part of a claim must be that one owes at least the value of 1 pruta, and a woman is betrothed with the value of 1 pruta, and one who derives benefit of the value of 1 pruta from consecrated property has misused consecrated property and is liable to bring an offering, and one who finds an item that has the value of 1 pruta is obligated to proclaim that he found it. And with regard to one who robs from another an item that has the value of 1 pruta and took an oath from him that he robbed nothing, when he repents and seeks to return the stolen item, he must take it and follow its owner even to Metzia. In that case, he may not return the item by means of a messenger. He must give it directly to its owner. Gemara. The Gemara asks, we already learned this on another occasion in an earlier Mishnah, 49b, the measure of exploitation for which one can claim that he was exploited is 4 silver ma'ah from the 24 silver ma'ah in a selah, which is 1/6 of the transaction. The Gemara answers it was necessary for the Tana to mention 2 halachot. The smallest monetary claim in court for which a plaintiff can obligate a respondent to take an oath is 2 silver ma'ah, and the smallest monetary admission for which that respondent takes the oath is an admission that one owes at least the value of 1 pruta. Therefore, the Tana cited the halacha of exploitation as well. The Gemara asks, that too we already learned in a Mishnah, Shavuot 38b, the oath for admission to part of a claim imposed by the judges in a case where the claim is 2 silver ma'ah and the admission is the value of 1 pruta. The Gemara answers it was necessary for the Tana to teach the letter clause of the Mishnah, as it teaches there are 5 halachic situations involving prutot, which is not taught elsewhere. The Mishnah teaches there are 5 halachic situations involving prutot. The Gemara asks, and let the Tana teach that the measure of exploitation is 1 pruta. Rav Kahana said, that is to say that there is no exploitation concerning prutot. Any disparity between value and price that is less than the value of the smallest silver coin in Isar, which is worth 8 prutot, is not considered exploitation. And Levi said, there is exploitation even for prutot. And likewise, Levi taught in his version of the Mishnah, which parallels the Mishnah redacted by Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, that there are 5 halachic situations involving prutot. The measure of exploitation is 1 pruta. The admission is the value of 1 pruta, and the betrothal of a woman is with 1 pruta. And the halacha of one who takes an oath denying a robbery applies in the case where he denies having robbed another of at least 1 pruta, and the convening of judges to adjudicate a case of monetary law is in the case where the claim is at least 1 pruta. The Gemara asks, and with regard to the Tana of our Mishnah, what is the reason he does not teach the case of convening of the convening of judges in his list of cases involving prutot? The Gemara answers, he taught the case of robbery, which includes all monetary claims one has against another. The Gemara asks, but doesn't the Tana teach the case of robbery and teach the case of lost property? Apparently, he lists monetary cases that are included under the rubric of robbery. The Gemara answers, with regard to these two cases, it was necessary for the Tana to teach them separately, as there is a novel element in each. The novel element in the case of robbery is not only that a robbery of one pruta is considered robbery, but also in the case of one who robs an item from another worth at least one pruta, and then took an oath to him that robbed nothing, he must carry the stolen item and follow its owner even to Metzia. The novel element in the case of lost property is that one who finds lost property, the value of at least one pruta, is obligated to proclaim that he found it, even though the lost article depreciated and is no longer worth one pruta. The Gemara asks, and as for Levi, what is the reason he does not teach that one is obligated to proclaim that he found lost property only if it is worth at least one pruta? The Gemara answers, he taught the case of robbery, which includes all monetary claims one has against another. The Gemara asks, but doesn't he teach robbery and also teach the convening of judges? Apparently, he lists monetary cases that are included under the rubric of robbery. The Gemara explains, with regard to the convening of judges, it was necessary for the Tana to specify the halacha to exclude the opinion of Rav Katina. As Rav Katina says, the court attends to monetary claims of even less than the value of one pruta. Anyone wronged by another is entitled to have his case adjudicated in court. The Gemara asks, and as for Levi, what is the reason that he does not teach the pruta of misuse of consecrated property? The Gemara answers, he is speaking with regard to non-sacred property. He is not speaking with regard to consecrated property. The Gemara asks, but in the case of the Tana of our Mishnah, who is speaking with regard to consecrated property, let him teach the halacha that second tithe may be redeemed only if the produce is worth at least one pruta. The Gemara answers, this Tana holds in accordance with the one who says second tithe is redeemed only if it's 1/5. If it is 1/5, which one adds, if it's 1/5, which one adds when redeeming his own produce, is worth at least one pruta. In other words, second tithe is redeemed only if it is worth at least 4 prutot. The Gemara asks, and let him teach that second tithe is redeemed only if it is 1/5, which one adds when redeeming his own produce is worth at least 1 pruta. The Gemara responds, the Tana is speaking with regard to the principle, and the Tana is not speaking with regard to the 1/5. With regard to the matter itself raised in the previous discussion, the Gemara elaborates. Rav Katina says, the court attends to monetary claims of even less than the value of 1 pruta. Rava raises an objection from a Braita. It is written, and he shall make restitution for that which he has done amiss in the sacred matter. Leviticus 5:16.